Hello, you guys. Thank you so much for your willingness to volunteer as a scanner for our sale. So we're doing it a little different than maybe what you might be used to with Tot Trade, or even if you worked at Sprout Style Swap in the spring. So we wanted to just give you a video on how to do this and how to walk you through. So when you get to the consignment sale, you'll check in with us at the admin table, and we will give you a unique username and password. This username and password will allow us to see all the transactions that you did and all of the items that you have scanned under your name and password. So once you get it, you'll press enter sales, and it doesn't look like the pop-up buttons are working, so I'm going to try to input those as I put all these videos in together. But a pop-up box will come up, and it's the username and password, so you'll go ahead and input that, and then I'm going to cut to a video that I actually made in the spring, so it'll be a little different setup, but pretty much the same with scanning your items, just to give you a visual in how to do that. And then I'll cut back to the software and kind of show you a breakdown of how to scan your items. Thank you guys again for volunteering, and I hope this video is helpful for you.
Hey volunteers, I wanted to walk you through how to scan items. So we have this rack here. This is where we want to hang up all the clothes. It's easiest to make sure that we don't miss anything when we are scanning barcodes if everything is hung up. So when a customer comes up, the first thing you want to do is hang up the clothing items. Then you will put out the other items on the table here. So you can scan them. So then you just go through scanning them like this. We'll also have a video of what it looks like on the actual system, but this is just kind of a setup of how you set up the clothes so that you can easily scan them and so that you don't miss anything. So once you scan all the clothes on the rack, then you can scan any shoes or toys that they have here. And then once you're done scanning, what you have to do is you have to count the items. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 25 items. So now I'll walk you through what it looks like on the computer.
Okay guys, so you just watched our first video of kind of how to set up as someone's coming up and how to start scanning items. As a reminder, that video was taken in the spring, so it'll look a little different as we set up at Jamil, but basically the same concept there in that video. So now I want to show you kind of the software side of things and how it'll look as you're scanning items. So as the customer is coming up, you will click New Sale. This will pop up. If the customer wants to give you your email, just ask them if they'd like to join our email list. You can press Save and Continue. If they'd rather not, just clear data and close, and just encourage them to join our Facebook page. We post most information there anyway. The cursor here should be blinking. It defaults to blinking, but if the scanning's not working, then that's kind of your first troubleshooting there. Just make sure that the cursor is blinking in that box, and then you can start scanning your items. So I'm going to scan here, the first item, the second item, then we'll just say they have 2 items right here. So I'm done scanning, so I am going to go ahead and tell them the price. It is $85.99, and this is where we will need to take something off if the customer would rather not, buy everything on the list, or if they want to put something back on the sales floor. This is where we kind of need to adjust that. So go ahead and tell them the price. And if they're ready to move forward, then you press suspend. this box will pop up. I'm not sure you're going to see this on the screen recording because it's not picking up the pop-up boxes, but basically a box pops up and it says enter the number of tags you have scanned. So you will enter the number of tags. At this point, this is when you count your items. So I will count the items I've scanned, and you want to make sure that you're counting the items after you have pressed suspend. So don't count them as you're scanning them, because say you have 2 dozen pieces of clothing. If you count them as you scan them, then it's not going to register if you missed one. So scan them all, then press suspend, and then count them after the fact. Do not count them as you scan them. So go ahead and count them, or the person, your partner that's with you in the scanning booth, can go ahead and count them for you. So I'm going to say that instead of, obviously I have 2 items here, but I'm going to put 3 instead of 2. So when I do that, I press submit, and again, I don't think you're seeing these pop-up boxes. I'm not sure when I'm screen recording why they're not showing, but a box will pop up and it will say you are missing tags, and it says scan transaction tags here. So you can go ahead and rescan the tags, and the system is going to pick up if it's missing a tag. So I'm going to scan the tags, and you can't see it on the screen recording, but it says this has already been entered. Scan the other tag. It says this item has already been entered, and then I'm going to scan this tag, and this dinging sound will appear, and then another pop-up box, which again you can't see on the screen recording, but it says missing item found. And do you want to add this item? Yes, I want to add it, and then it'll go ahead and finish the transaction for you. You probably heard it printing, but you will have a printer at each of your stations, and it'll print out 2 receipts. One receipt you keep and you put on your receipt spike, and then one receipt you hand to the customer. At this point, this is when you will tie off the bags and hand them the bags and the receipt, and this is when they walk to the cashier station to pay. We do ask that you use our bags, not reusable bags, just so that we make sure that everything's being bought and paid for, so that the consignor gets their money, and we're not having things walk out the door. It's just an easier way for us to keep track. So once the receipt prints, hand them one receipt, you keep the other receipt, put it on the receipt spike, and send them to the cashier station. You will then wave your flag that you have at your station, saying that you're ready for the next customer. You'll press new sale, and you do it all over again. If you have any problems or questions, feel free to ask. I did want to show you how to manually enter a tag. So just in case a person comes up and the item that they have, the tag's not scanning. So sometimes if it's in a bag, or it's been tape is over it, or the ink has faded, or something like that, then you have to manually enter it. So again, same system, press new sale, ask about the email, and say you have you need to manually enter a tag. You'll press this button right here, manually enter, and a box will pop up. And I'm not sure, again, if this box is showing on your end, and maybe I can show a picture of it when I put this video together, but a box pops up and it says enter manually, and it kind of gives you a list, a breakdown of where to put the seller number, the item, the price, and then you have to mark it yes or no for discount or no discount. So on the tag, you'll just find those the seller number, which is on the top left corner, the item number, which is below the barcode, and then the price, which is it says price right beside it, and then you do have to mark discount yes or discount no, even if it's not discount days. And so you would just manually enter it, and then you press add item, and it'll populate on the screen. Unfortunately, the pop-up screen's not showing for you as I'm screen recording this. So that comes up that doesn't have a tag. That's when you would reach out to Brandy or I, and we can help you find that missing tag, and we would be happy to help you kind of find that in the system and move forward so that item can be bought. So let me know if you have any questions. You're going to do great. We're so thankful for you and your willingness to do this. The system is pretty easy to navigate. Just click and scan, but there's always going to be issues that come up last minute, so I'll be around, and feel free to reach out to us as need be. We're excited to have you, and we will see you. We'll see you soon. Thanks, guys.